So we'll give it a few minutes until we kick off the meetings to let people come in. Fogo, I love your office setting.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm due to circumstance. I'm in the laundry room now.
I can tell. You could save it as a background for a virtual background for when you're traveling and so on.
I think now it's dynamic. Like every day it changes a bit. Like need laundry.
So as usual, everybody. So I'll be taking notes during the meeting, but everyone is welcome to contribute to the note, especially. So I'm putting in the messages section right now the link to the doc. You're welcome to contribute to notes, fix whatever typos people are mention, or adding links to relevant PRs or issues or things happening that are helpful. And after the meeting is done, I'll send the notes to the mailing list so that people who were not able to attend can catch up on what we talked about. This is Gemini is also taking notes, so you'll have access to the AI notes. Sometimes they misinterpret. If people have accents like myself, sometimes some things get funny, but in general, it's useful. Hello, everyone. So I'm still studying a little bit while people are joining. Okay, so as usual, I'll go over the list of attendees, and we'll build the agenda from that. So for everyone, I'll ask you to please very quickly introduce yourself, your name, where you work at, if you're comfortable sharing so, and what you would like to be added to the agenda today for discussion. And if you just want to listen in, that's perfectly fine. Don't feel the pressure to have something to talk about. And since Google Meet is putting people in alphabetical order on the list of attendees, I'll go in alphabetical order for calling people. So let me figure out. So let me share one more time. I think people don't see the messages that were sent before they joined the meeting. So I'll send the notes link again, and feel free to contribute to the notes. So, sorry, I have only one screen today, so I'm trying to make everything fit on my screen, so as I take notes at the same time as I look at you all. So I'll start. I'm Julien. I work at Datadog. I've been involved with Parquet for quite a bit now. And one thing I wanted to chat is to just catch up on where we at with finalizing the variant testing and if everything's fine or not. Next on my list is Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam. I work for G Research. Don't have anything for the agenda today, just here to listen.
Thank you. Aditya.
Hi, I'm Aditya. I'm a part of CMUDB variants team. I'm just here to listen.
Thank you. Aihua.
Hi. My name is Aihua. I work for Snowflake, and mostly I'm interested in variant. We had from last sync up, we were saying we're gonna do some like meditation, and just want to see if we can move forward to vote and close out the variant spec.
Sounds good. Andrew.
My name is Andrew Lamb. I work for Influx Data, and I am just here to listen today.
Claire.
Yeah, hi. I work in data infra at Spotify. This might be a short discussion if no one has used it, but I was interested in talking about the vector read support. Steve isn't here today, and I know it was mostly his project, but I was curious to hear other people's experiences with it.
And the vector read support would be in which library?
Parquet Java.
In the Parquet Java. Okay.
Okay.
Focko.
Hey everyone, my name is Focko Driesprong, working for Databricks, and I'm here to get back up to speed after my holiday. So great seeing everyone again.
Welcome back. Jan.
Yeah, my name is Jan. I work for Salesforce doing the analytics in Salesforce. And I'm here because it was said that my PR on doubles would be discussed, which is open for over 2 years, I guess now. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't quite hear. The PR on what?
On doubles, on
On
IEEE total ordering on doubles, that we can compare doubles in the same way.
Order. Okay, sounds good. Mark.
Hey, I'm Mark. Working at Datadog. I'm also kind of just here to listen in and get the latest updates on catch up on variant and kind of where we are with that.
Naohiro.
Hello. So I'm Naohiro. I'm from. I work for Mitsubishi Electric, and I'm interested in encoding. And I think there was last time something about FSSD and AOP. And if there's any progress about it, I would like to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Raúl.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Raúl. I work at QuantStack, mainly on Apache Arrow, so the C++ implementation for Parquet and PyArrow. And I'm here to listen in and probably interested on the white column new footer, if there's any news on that. But nothing to add, to be honest.
Sounds good. Actually, I'm also interested in hearing if there's something new for the new footer. But since Alkis is not in the room today, we'll ask for some of his colleagues if they have an update. Roke.
Hey, my name is Roke. I'm a colleague of Adam, also working on PyArrow and Arrow C++ stuff, lately Arrow Rust. I'm quite curious about flat buffers metadata as well. But yeah, it seems like Alkis is not here. Yeah.
Thanks. Russell.
Hi, I work at Snowflake. I'm mostly eating my sandwich and listening to everyone.
That's good. And let me check, just double checking if someone joined since I started. I think, oh yeah, Ashish, do you want to go?
Oh, I am Ashish. I work at Sumo Logic. Like usual, I will just be listening in. Back to you, Julian.
Sounds good. And it just, oh yeah, Dewey.
Hi, I'm Dewey. I work at Whereabouts. I work on geometry and geography stuff. I wish I were eating a sandwich, and I'm mostly just listening in today.
Yeah, it's a bring your own sandwich meeting. We don't provide those. Thank you. From the notes, what we have, so the big topic, so we'll be talking about the status for variant, but I'll keep it for a little later. So maybe we talk about the smaller topics first. So we talk about the vector read support, the PR on doubles, encodings, and maybe I put the new footer before encodings as well, because maybe we'll start with that. Probably be a quick update. So usually I just put small topics before big topics in order so that they don't fall off the end of the meeting. New footer. So Alkis is not here, and he's been the main person driving this effort. Is there, let's see. Yeah, Foco, I think you're the only one from Databricks that here today. And you're just back from vacation. Do you know if there's where this is at?
No, I actually have no idea. I'm just catching up. I'm just on holiday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's no other of your colleagues here today. So for the new footer, I think there's no update as of I know. So I'd recommend reaching out on the mailing list. Maybe you can reply to the last email Alkis had sent. There's the PR up, which is not at all ready for merging, but more like just publishing some of the experimental things he did. And so we can take it from there and maybe follow up by email to see there's that. And I don't know, Foco, if you could, ask him if you get the chance when you see him.
Sure.
I have a related update, which is I think in the Rust reader, we're finally going to try to optimize the reading of the thrifty coder, which, if you all remember, one of the rationales for replacing the footer with flat buffers is to improve the parse speed. However, we've identified several areas that you can actually improve the parse speed without having to change the format, specifically with software engineering, to not use the auto-compiled thrift-generated code, but instead directly decode thrift into the structures the library needs. So I think we're going to be implementing that over the next several months. And so hopefully we'll have some numbers to report at some point about how much faster you can actually make without changing the format, how much faster you could improve thrift decoding.
I think, yeah, and I think both things can happen in parallel, right? I think they're both good things to have. Sounds good. Thank you. So sorry, we don't have much more to discuss on that today. So on the vector read support in Parquet Java. So, and I'm assuming this is all we have to say on the footer, just checking no other things, and let's move to the next topic then. Okay, so go ahead, Claire.
Yes. So I was finally able to test this out. We use Google Cloud stuff, and they finally implemented read vectored for their file system. I was just curious because I was doing like a GitHub search and I could not find any references to this config option being set to true anywhere. So I don't know if people have tried it out internally. I was so curious if anyone else has benchmarked it. it seems like in some jobs where the projection is, a very small percentage of a wide schema, we're seeing pretty big improvements in both like memory pressure and CPU utilization. But for jobs where you're reading the whole schema, it almost seems to get a little slower. So I was just like so curious to meet anyone else who has tried this out, because we are seeing quite mixed results, and I feel like I don't have a great handle on what I should expect from this feature. I mean, I assume it's quite file system dependent, but I was just looking to chat about it, I guess. That might be my answer. I guess Steve. I think it's Steve's project, so maybe he's the one who would know best.
So has anyone used this with? So you were thinking specifically about GFS, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, or Google Cloud Storage. So, yeah.
Wait, Google, yeah, Google Cloud Storage. Yeah. I have not, and I think what you're saying makes sense. I don't know if anybody on the call has used it. If not, probably like reaching out on the mailing list may have a little bit more reach in finding people who used it. Are you specifically interested in the Parquet Java side of things, or?
Yes.
And because this is to use in what context? You're looking at is it what's the engine you're using it with?
I mean, we have some MapReduce jobs that we execute using. This is like another Google internal thing, but Dataflow, which is just their MapReduce engine. So some of our jobs require reading like many Parquet files on the same worker, and the memory consumption of reading all of those row groups into memory gets to be quite overwhelming. So we were kind of hopeful about the vectored read alleviating that. So yeah, I mean, I can start a thread. Like for us, like on some of our jobs, we saw like up to like 20% less like total CPU hours used, which was pretty significant. If that incentivizes anyone to try it out.
That makes sense. Yeah, I would expect this would apply also in the Spark ecosystem. Probably they would benefit from that.
I would think so. Yeah, I haven't looked too much about how Spark is implementing this. I just knew that the code search showed like nothing for the config flag. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Thank you. Sorry, we don't have more.
It's okay.
To reply on this. Okay. If there are no more comments on this topic, we can move on to the next one. And so I have the PR on double, the IEEE total order, the total order for the IEEE type. So do you want to talk about this, Jan? Oh, it looks like we don't have Jan on the call anymore. Okay, we lost Jan, so we'll get back to it if he shows back up. And the next topic, Naohiro was asking about the encodings discussion and if we made progress in this. Naohiro?
Oh, yeah. Because last time I was listening and there was some discussion about AOP and FSSD, and is it some? Sorry, I'm new to the community, so I don't know how, like, what do you call it? How the process is done and stuff. So if there's anything.
So yeah. So so we started. So the we didn't really have a formalized process to add new encodings, and so we started working on this. And in particular, Micah has started a document on that. So there's a document on how we are going to do this, evaluate the new encodings. And I think one thing we said in particular is how do we evaluate those new encodings. So we talked a bit about that last time. And so that's where we at. So I think it's been said, like, several of those encodings sound promising, right? And in particular, we're looking for better encodings for numeric values and things like that. That is a bit lacking in Parquet. And there's been a lot of discussion about this new. There are a few papers over the past couple of years that have been published with interesting new encodings. So I haven't made progress personally on that for the past 2 weeks. Has anyone something to say about this topic? Usually, Andrew, you have opinions on this. What do you think?
Well, I have lots of opinions, but I'm not sure that's what the question was. The question was how, what the progress has been made since last time. And I think the answer is there's from my perspective, there's been no change. And we're basically waiting on someone to make a more formal proposal. And Micah's document helps describe like what's required to get a formal, an approval of a formal proposal. But to my knowledge, no one's actually made even like we talked about putting other encodings in, but no one's even started writing a proposal to specifically do it.
Okay, yeah. So we'll have Micah's document that starts defining a bit how we are going to evaluate, right, and make a decision. And I think we need people to actually do the work, right, like on picking a few encodings, right, like, and I think we can have champions for different encodings. If someone cares very much about one encoding in particular, of making the case that this should be the next encoding we adopt. And then the Micah's document that you'll find, there should be a thread on the mailing list. If you go to the dev list archive, you should be able to, you just search for the Apache mailing list archive for the dev Parquet mailing list. And you should be able to find this document on how we are approaching approving one of those. But yes, so for that question, we very much want to add more encodings. We don't want to add too many of them. We want to be thoughtful about how we accept them, and we need the people to drive like the evaluation, right, and the first evaluation to add an encoding.
Okay.
As a quick summary of things. But yes, I think if someone wants to push some of those efforts, that'd be very appreciated, and you'll get the support of the community on getting something here. Thank you, Mark, for adding the doc.
Thank you.
Right. So I'll add that to the list as well.
Is anybody blocked from this right now? I'm sort of curious if somebody's waiting for like a formal proposal before they do the work to try and add it.
I think we're waiting for the work.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like maybe this would get going if you had like an example of someone who was trying to do this and kind of comparing.
We should probably finalize Micah's document as well. I don't think we've ever actually approved it as like a community. We've just had a few people interested go in there and leave comments.
Yeah, so I think we should definitely do that. I think it should not be a blocker to people starting looking at the encodings, but they'd be a blocker on finalizing the work and the contribution, right? But yes, so on the to-do, I think I'll add a to-do on the list, on the things. Please go in the doc. So I put it in the notes, the doc that Mark just shared in the chat, and we need to finalize this as well as finding new contributors. I mean, not finding new contributors, but needed champions within the community to drive some of those. So I know some people were advocating for some encodings, so we can make progress in that.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have, so I think, so I just looked at the document and it says so you want to finalize those proposal and those way to sorry, so all those proposals and has to like get fixed and I think
let me check.
I don't think there's any, so to be clear, I don't think there's any proposal per se, the way I would my proposal. There's like some ideas of encoding that we might like to add new encodings. And there were people who offered specific suggestions on like new encodings we might want to consider adding. But that's as far as all the conversations got.
Oh, okay.
From my what I remember.
Yeah, sorry, I should have looked at the link. This is not the document I was thinking about. Let me look for the mailing list.
Oops, sorry.
No worries. It's like this is so there's two documents. This document is valid as well. This was the document you link is the doc that listed various things that have been discussed on the mailing list of improvement. Let me look for the other one. The other one we talked about is formalizing the process for making those improvements so that we can make it easier. And thank you, Andrew. This is this one. No, yeah, this is it, right? Okay, that's the same document that you shared. Yeah, so we need to work a bit on that. And I think there was a lot of excitement about adding new encodings. So I think we just need to make a space for people to make those, to implement the encodings, the next encoding.
Okay.
So I can take a task on that. I think no, actually we had. Let me look at the notes, because from last time we had a group of people who talk about this. Let me look at the history of the notes. Right. No, that's not this one. So actually, can we take an action item? Who's interested in writing down a little more clearly how we're going to facilitate getting the next encoding in Parquet? I don't know, people, so don't want to throw under the bus like the people who chimed in, but Russell and Andrew, what do you think? Is this something you're interested in contributing to? And I don't think we need a long document. I think we need something that define a bit more the how this is going to happen and how we're going to enable people to do it.
Sorry, what's the ask?
So helping writing down like how we are going to
like if we were to add a new
encoding, right? Like so.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, for people who want to contribute new encodings, right? The context for them that how this is going to happen, and so that they know they put the effort in with the good outcome. Because I think so we kind of did this for Variant, right? Like Variant got add it to Parquet. We get to the process. It's almost finished. We're going to talk about it. And we've been talking about new encodings, but it's still a bit in the air. And we need a better framing for that, right?
I feel like it's touched on by this document that Mark and I linked to, but that's not clear and it hasn't been driven to conclusion. So maybe that's an appropriate action item, is to try to help drive that document a little bit more formally.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's what I was kind of mentioning before. Is I think we're getting there. Like we're saying, like, you have to do these tests, you have to do these kind of things and demonstrate usage. Here are the things that shouldn't be there. But I don't feel like everyone has seen this or has like given enough comments to kind of say everyone's okay with these benchmarks and all of that.
Okay. So what I'll do, I'll follow up on the mailing list on the doc to rekindle the discussion on this and see if we can get to a conclusion. And you know, if you can help with you know, finalizing various points. I think this doc probably needs also a slight, like shorter version at the top right, like to finalize it. Thank you, Andrew. Right. Yeah, I see you're editing in the doc. Right. I think that will help.
All right, docs are the best of them. I'll put some headings and stuff in here. Maybe that'll make it easier to see.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So thank you for your question. Naohiro. And so we have an action item. We'll work on clarifying this. And I think the next step is, there are a few people who talk about trying new encodings, and I think we can definitely have some people work on proof of concept, right? Like to show how the ecosystem would benefit, and defining how we are going to validate with what data set, and so on. Okay, so on that, I'll jump to the next topic, and which is variants. So what do we have left to do on the variant?
Yeah. So yeah, firstly, I'll probably give kind of update on variant testing. From last week, we were saying, I think we were saying we want to kind of like cross language validation, right? Just try to see if there's any kind of like incompatible between languages. So what we have done is, first, we kind of like publish test data. Ryan and I kind of like publish that data. Basically, from Iceberg side, we kind of use we generate from the variant tests, like a lot of test scenarios. We also include the Parquet logic type. Of course, to officially adopt that, we need to release Parquet Java, and then to bump up the version in Iceberg. So what I have done is I kind of release on the local repository, and to work around that first to publish this test data set, so that we can test out with like official test data set. So we have test with against the Parquet Java, and Matt also helped on the test against Parquet Go. With Parquet Java, we don't see like incompatible issues or anything. There's a small like updates on the Parquet Avro convert site. But yeah, I'm gonna follow up with this one with Ryan this afternoon. Try to kind of understand the Avro stuff to see if that makes sense. But anyway, like for Parquet for variant spec, there's no like doubts or any issues at all. for Parquet Go, there's some what we can see is there's some like seems like some wording, for some like embedded case. How do we handle that? I guess like a spec actually intentionally, leave the vague, right? The readers can handle, can fail or can read those kind of like malformed data. So intentionally to do that. So and then we don't want to update the spec to say you should do this or should do that. That's my understanding.
Which one is this for the shredded versus unshredded being in the same row?
So yeah. So basically, like shredded, let's say shredded has entry A, right? But
A with like a
has
value
entry
5. Unshredded also has an A, and the A is 3. Yeah,
Yeah. Those scenarios.
We must have argued about this for like 5 weeks or something.
Right.
And we decided in the end that we would leave it. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we don't want to go back to discuss this again. I think.
Well, it's hilarious to me that in the first other implementation, not written by Ryan or someone directly working with him, it was interpreted differently. So that's, oh boy.
That's true. Yeah. So like,
do we have a dev list thread on this?
So right now, like, yeah, we have a dev list on that, but like right now, it's in here. Yeah, it's in here.
So here, sorry, what are you pointing at?
Sorry. It's in
the Parquet Go variant testing link.
Parquet Go variant. Yeah. Sorry.
The pull requires 455, right? You want? I can share my screen if you want.
Yes, please.
This one. Sorry. Yeah. This is the PR you're talking about, right?
That's right.
So
yeah, I was making a small change to the spec to clarify a little bit. But other than that, I feel that otherwise I think that's kind of like what we have discussed it before, and I don't want to kind of like go back again. So.
Is there a party somewhere in this PR you want me to highlight, to show in particular?
Yeah, I think can you go back to the latest, like I think Ryan Brew also replied, and then yeah, so Ryan, like yeah. So basically, that's kind of like I think what we have kind of like discussed when we kind of like finalize the spec.
Yeah, the third paragraph there is the one where we had the most fights, and eventually, yeah. Basically, the short description for everyone who's looking at this is that we have a way of taking values out of the opaque binary, which is the variant, and putting them into a Parquet column. Now, we don't want to, the issue comes, someone writes that Parquet column and also writes the opaque binary. The opaque binary has a value for the column, and the column has a value for the column. If these are the same, this isn't a problem. If they are different, we have a really big problem, because we now have a row that has a column that has 2 different values. So in order to make sure that everyone would shred and always prefer the shredded one, we have written into the spec that you ignore the one inside inside of the opaque binary, because that way people can always rely on the shredded form and don't have to fall back. Although this gives you this weird circumstance where if you did read them in the unshredded mode, you would get a different value.
Yeah, but that's an invalid file. Is just defining how you would read an invalid file in this case, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but people would not read those files.
We've had this argument a lot, and the end of the day. So we're basically going, because Julian, say you're rehashing my opinion in this whole debate, but the main thing that we wanted to say was that we don't want them to be broken files, because we didn't want to get into a position where, say, someone writes an implementation where they do this, and they are constantly writing shredded columns correctly or incorrectly, but they're writing the other ones correctly. If you don't know who the writer is of that file, you basically have to assume that any Parquet file you get with a broken is broken, right? And you can't trust the shredded values. So he wanted to write explicitly into the spec that you can always trust the shredded values. Does that make sense? To avoid someone coming in and having a broken shredding implementation, breaking shredding for the entire community.
I think the spec as written makes sense. Not that you asked me, but if someone I mean, because the alternative is you have to check, right, or something like that, and like that's expensive, and so yeah, you just rely on the yeah, it makes sense. So what's the holdup? The holdup.
So
is,
I think. So the thing is, so we will always assume the shredded value is correct, right? And we don't spend the extra cost of double checking, right? Like because
that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
In the test case, we have files that are incorrect on purpose. So when you read them in the shredding mechanism, you read the shredded value. You're supposed to check that you have the shredded value, and that's it. And if there are cases where you read the, and I think that's it, right? And if you happen to read both, you can fail reading the file. You can say, hey, I know this is wrong, right? And fail reading the file because you know. But if you're only reading the shredded value on an invalid file that also put another value in the non-shredded version, then you don't have to verify this as an implementer.
That's right. That's right. Basically, that's what simplify. Yeah, basically simplify on the reader side. Yeah.
Right. You don't have to verify that the file is correct, right? And you trust this, and it's correct behavior from the reader to trust the shredded value.
That's right. That's right.
This is what this is saying, right?
Not the reader's fault if the file is broken.
Right. If the file is wrong and you read the shredded value and return that, this is the correct implementation of the reader.
Yeah.
Can I ask a modest suggestion, which is don't put invalid data in the test set. And like, if you don't do that, you're gonna like if you put invalid data in there, someone's gonna be like, oh, it must be valid because it's in the test data, and they're not gonna look at like just remove it from the tests, and we'll sidestep all this nonsense. That's my recommendation.
Again, I'm speaking through Ryan. My assumption is he's like, I want to make sure people are preferring that shredded value really hard, so I put this test value in here to make sure that implementations do that.
That's fine. Yeah. That's fine for the thing in Iceberg, right? It's well, okay, never mind. We can agree to disagree. These are the results of this. Yeah.
So I think there are two correct behavior from reading that files. One is reading the shredded value or filling, right? Those are two correct behaviors of the reader. Reading the non-shredded value when you're asked for shredded is not a correct behavior, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I absolutely, having looked at this, I absolutely guarantee people are going to write data that has the values replicated in the variant because it's faster, because you don't have to like modify the existing, like for 100% they're going to do that even if it's by accident. So I think it's good to verify this, but like, yeah, we don't need to relitigate it. Let's get it done. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so how can we proceed? Maybe kind of update in the mailing list, and then see if anybody has other opinions. I try to see if we can close out.
So is it blocking you, or is this?
Well, technically, without this, right, we cannot release a Parquet library. And without that, we cannot update the dependencies on any other projects, let's say, Iceberg or other projects, right? And then we cannot have a variant logical type. So yeah, so it's kind of
yeah. No, so I understand that, right? It's just like, so for merging that, so you need to merge this PR to be able to say, we have the compatibility test and we can release Parquet Java, right?
Right.
So now that I understand. So for merging this PR, right? Did we get to a conclusion? Because you were saying like you're not sure how to test. So are we saying, sorry, I didn't read like the earlier message.
Yeah. So basically, I think it's more like, I guess what Andrew has pointed out. Well, or I think you probably have pointed out. So basically, like on the Iceberg, maybe like we probably should exclude from the test data, because on Iceberg, right, we kind of ignore and then say you can read those kind of like invalid. You can handle this kind of invalid case, right? But for Go, it read both and then say it has conflict and fail. So it's kind of like handle that kind of test cases slightly different, right? But Iceberg like expect it's you can read, but for Go it's also, I think it's also correct. It's kind of like fail in that case.
Yeah, let's just update the spec to say it's okay to do either thing, right?
I think it's correct to fail. So I think it's correct to fail if the file is invalid, but it's not required for the reader to do the work to check the file is valid because it's too expensive, right? It defeats the purpose of shredding if you must, as a reader, validate that the shredding has been done correctly, right?
Right. I think that the last question is more about like whether we want to, I think from Matt, he was saying whether we want to up this spec to make reader behavior consistent. But I think we don't want to do that, right?
I mean, I don't see. So is Ryan's point that it must read that value in the invalid file versus instead of failing?
No, I think he just has test files that Go is failing on because Go decided.
Right. Okay. So change your test case to say whether I get the value or the read fails, right? I think both are valid results for the tests.
Yeah.
And I think keep your test and just change the check to say either or, and this is the correct behavior from the reader. I think what we're saying is we are not requiring from the reader to fail in that
That's
case.
That's right. Yeah.
But if it fails, it's correct behavior as well, right?
Yeah.
I think that's totally valid. Yeah, it's totally, a reader is 100% allowed to say this file is invalid. You need to check your writers because someone's got to say that.
Because it is, and we need some of the readers to actually do that, right? Like I think in all the cases, does that solve your problem, Aihua, or not?
But from the spec perspective, right? But like we can do like manual check, say, oh, this seems to be fine, right? But from spec perspective, should we move forward, right, to say it's already fine?
So this is the thing you want to add, right? This one.
Yeah. So that's a only one I think I want to clarify. Basically, in a schema, like value and value and typed value can be missing. That's the only one I think I want to clarify.
So that's a
Did you guys talk about just specifying explicitly if the typed value is there, you just ignore anything that might also be in the other variants and call it a day? Like Do we have to leave it unspecified? Like,
So
let's
the
just
problem-
find, yeah.
So the problem is this, because if you're reconstructing it, because we can't assume that the unshredded portion has the entire row, because it is possible that you could have shredded everything out but like one column. So you have at that point, you now have to merge on read, because if I'm producing the variant that comes out of here, I have to put it all back together. So now I have two different values for one field, and now I have the conflict. And that's the only case now where you have to be like, well, this is obviously incorrect, but optionally, if I want to respect the shredded value, that's okay, because that's what every other reader should be doing, because they might not be on that path.
I don't know what you're saying.
Sorry. Okay.
If the data was shredded, if you pulled out the typed column, that's the value of the field. And if there's some other weird thing in the non-shredded thing, well, you just ignore it. I'm probably, maybe it's something about the Java implementation or something.
Oh, that's what we said. Is you can ignore it.
You can ignore it.
But we don't want that to be a valid state, right? Like, can you then write whatever you want into the untyped part and then put all the real values in the typed part? Like, then we end up with this weird situation where the spec basically lets you write bad data into the untyped portion.
Well, that's what you've just, isn't the problem the spec lets you do whatever you want and doesn't specify it, and now two different implementations chose to do something different, and they're like, this is inconsistent, right? So like, why don't we just—
The specify says you can. The spec says you cannot do. This is hilarious to me because we've had the same discussion, and basically we
should not test this. Let's get the test stuff out of there. That'll be fine.
The spec says you can't write the file like this.
And yet Ryan put test, and so it put but however we put test files that explicitly have incorrect data in.
Yes.
Maybe that
this file should not be writable by the spec.
So we are testing for a case that doesn't exist.
This is yes.
Again, put them in a directory called error cases.
This is all part of a preemptive strike against a bad writer in the future, saying like we think that this bad writer in the future might come and write bad files that aren't according to spec, and because we think that might happen, this is the behavior you need to be able to rely on, which is you can always trust the typed columns.
Yeah, actually spec says, writer cannot write in that way. But if that happens, like readers will ignore, can ignore.
Yeah, so I don't think we should change the spec. I think the spec is fine.
You mean for this line?
I know this whole section, yeah, I think that's fine. I think the whole section we have around this behavior is confusing. I understand, Andrew and Julian, where you're coming from. Believe me, I had much the same arguments when we talked about this before. But I think the right thing to do is say we don't have these as test files. Like this is not a behavior that implementations have to agree on. So therefore, we don't have to have test cases for them. Or if we do, you have two valid outcomes, I guess.
Yeah. Or it's super clear from the information that it's an invalid case.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I don't think that's the case in the current. I'm checking, but.
Yeah, I'm in favor of either renaming those files. I know if they are not, let me get back to the other PR.
Sorry, Andrew, did I make it more sense now? Do you at least understand some of the context here?
Oh yeah, I understand the I think I understand the context. I'm just trying to this seems so silly, right? I'm trying to help find a way past the blockage, right? And if it's because we're trying to add error files to the tests that aren't clear that they're supposed to be erroring, like maybe that's something we can rectify without relitigating a spec. Yeah.
I think that's the right thing to do.
Okay, I think for that section I'm making, I'm updating. I think that should be kind of expected. Maybe Russell, can you help take a look at that portion?
I'm going now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to just
maybe I'll follow up offline?
Yeah, just book some time with me and we'll wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and the main person who wants this is Ryan, right? So
I'll talk to Ryan this week too, if this doesn't go through. But I'm sure he'll be fine with just removing the cases for now.
So or in your implementation, so it sounds like on your test case you can decide what's the valid outcome of your test, right? Like so. Is it a blocker? You can, if the test fails right now in the test suite for the Go implementation, you can actually change the result of the test. You can keep your test, but say that the having an error here is a valid outcome because this is an undefined.
Yeah. You can
change.
Yeah, you can change the test itself. Yeah.
And I think so. If you do that, you can just say, well, we fail in this case, and then your test passes, and yeah, there's the file in there that we just checking that we failed when we read it, and that sounds a correct behavior, right? Like when there's a wrong file, we just know how to say this is a wrong file and we cannot read it.
So here's what I'm thinking. For this kind of testing, right? We can refine more. But what I want to get from here is, we can manually check the tests, right, and say if it makes sense. What I'm trying to do is try to verify if the spec needs to be, updated or not, and then move forward first. So that's kind of like that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, the test itself, can be, improved, right? Can be updated, right? So let me know what you guys think.
So Russell, I think you said you don't think we should change the spec at this point for this.
Okay, yeah, maybe like Russell, you can take a look at the comments in there. We don't need to change it. That's good.
I think we don't need to change anything. I think Andrew has the right intuition here that this isn't a valid file. We probably shouldn't have it in the test suite.
Well, I'm looking at the test suite too, because it's not, that particular one isn't annotated anywhere about that it's might or might not be valid. Like it's not valid, but it's okay to accept it or something. So I'm going to leave a note saying if we just annotated that more clearly, maybe that's enough.
I mean, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah, that sounds great to me, right? Like making it clear, this is what the expected behavior of this file is. It's either you read that value or you fail. And both are accepted behavior in this test case.
Oh, okay. I think Ryan initially has a description file. Maybe I forgot to include, when I update to add the Parquet logical type. Let me include that, update that.
Yeah, and we should make sure that in the name of the file, there's the big old caps invalid in there.
Okay, yeah.
I would support that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, thanks a lot for discussion.
Is that, so that's unblocking you, right? Like, I think we really want to get to release variant, right? Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. So we are at time. I don't think Ian came back. So maybe we'll talk about his topic next time. Thank you all for attending the meeting. And thank you all for all the work that's been done on variant. I think we're very close to finalizing this. And then we have work to do on the encoding side of things. Thanks. See you next time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
你有会吗？
Hey, Aihua, how are you?
Good, good, good. Where's Zoom? Oh, okay. Hey, how
Good,
are you?
good.
Yeah, good, good.
Yeah. So let's get started. What did you have on your agenda?
Not much actually. Mostly I'm on call, so I'm just like try to like maybe, I saw like there's a lot of promotion going on, going on the high level. So I want to maybe check on the kind of like what is kind of like the current promotion process now?
It's the same process as always. I mean, we need to, okay, no, that is wrong.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
take
I
it
think
back.
they changed it, right? Did they change?
Change the process.
I
So
see, I see.
earlier process was that you had to get 3 strongly exceeded expectations.
Mm.
And once you had that, you could get promoted.
Mm.
The current process is that you should have a few, doesn't matter when, but you should have a few outstanding and exceptional ratings at the level.
Mm.
And if you have had that and there is enough support, we can promote people.
Okay, I see, I see. So they kind of like removed, okay, just like wake have a little bit of wake now.
Yes, exactly. Like earlier, it used to be very stressful. Say you have gotten, like, I have seen this happen actually.
Mm.
A person had 3 strongly exceeded, but that was like off cycle. On the promotion cycle, the manager had to give them exceeds expectation, and the promotion was pushed out by 9 months.
Okay.
So yeah, that was very annoying, and managers used to hate that. So they changed that.
I see, I see.
So now managers have that wiggle room. Like I promoted Eugen, again, just keep it to yourself. I promoted Eugen with only 1 exceptional rating, and she had like 2 or 3 outstanding ratings.
I see, I see, I see.
So that can be done now.
Okay, I see.
If I bring it back to your case for IC4 to IC5, That's a very, very tough band to get people through, but it can be done. It's not impossible. But what I would need is support from 2 IC6s, support from 1 IC5, and support from Steve.
I see.
That's what is required to get you to IC5. Having said that, what do you call it? Like, I mean, you have to get very strategic about how you are going after that support.
I see. Okay.
Right? And the last thing that I wanted to say is there's also a lot of impact, a lot of focus on delivery. So we have to get the deliveries right, the customer adoption. Like Variant is a very good chance for you that way. Once Variant goes out, there will be a lot more uptick. Right. So, and the other place where you're very well set is that now you're a TL. Like you have your own crew of 4 people. You are the master of your own destiny.
I see. Okay. Oh, needs 2 IC6 and 1 IC5.
Yeah, I think that is it, or might be the other way around, 2 IC5 and 1 IC6.
Okay.
And for the principal, we need 1 cross-functional, so 1 PM.
Oh, 1 PM. Okay.
And level doesn't matter. But there has to be support from 1 PM.
I see. Yeah, PM. Yeah, probably. Okay, I see. Basically, it's more like trying to make sure, kind of like your scope or something like needs to be aware by like engineers. Okay, I see. Okay.
Like, see, here's the thing, right? I mean, here the chances you have are wide, right? I mean, with Variant at this point, the LAP and BCTR, there is a lot of opportunity that is coming your way, and there will be future projects like this, right? Once we are out with all 3, there'll be more projects. The fact that you are TLing a crew kind of gives you that leg up. Like it's a little bigger challenge for people like, say, Neil, or when Bin was here, Bin, because they are not TLs, right? They haven't led teams, and like, so that we have to fix. I mean, hoping over time I will fix that for Neil. But as a TL, your life becomes easier because now your impact is amplified. But you have to keep focus on delivery. And the thing that I have been telling you, like actually all of last quarter, if you remember, right, that I need you to be that, like, as a TL, your job is not just to collect status, right? It's about pushing stuff. Like if you remember, right, we had this conversation about Variant, that you're being too passive in Variant and wanted you to push more, that to get Variant out. Then I spoke about a similar conversation about LAF, and I was like, putting that document together with Zichao. Remember what happened, right? The quarter before, with the doc stuff. So get more pushy. That would be like, if you're looking for feedback on what will help you get there, I would say get more pushy. Pushing people to get
delivery, right? Deliver, yeah.
Deliver the things that you are responsible for. Because I can hold ICs accountable for the code they write. I can't hold them accountable for the code they don't write.
Yeah.
If you are not pushing them to get the projects on track and on schedule, then one thing I can do is I can invite you to the Cap 1 crew. See, let's just take a look at how aggressively Nishant runs his crew. Or make them various styles of TL. I'm not saying you should become like Nishant. What I'm saying is that you have to find your own style. Such that you are associated with that, hey, if I give this to Aihua and crew, it will get delivered on time.
Right. Yeah, I can see Nishant has like kind of changed a lot. Yeah.
He's always been that. It's not like he's changed a lot, but he never had the opportunity before. So what Chi and Steve did was put him in Marianne's crew. And Marianne is like the exact opposite of Nishant. She's very kind, very gentle. She will push people through her technical prowess, not through that I want this done by this date.
I see. Oh, okay.
All I did was I gave Nishant his own crew and gave him the chance to kind of flourish the way he wants to flourish.
I see. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's like so fresh at IC4 level that I want to see him fail a couple of times before I even consider an IC5 for him. 6 months in the level. So he's like, I mean, as green can be at this level.
Okay. I see.
But
I see.
For someone as experienced and as seasoned as you, what I would say is, like, you've never been at Amazon, right?
No, I never been at Amazon.
But Amazon has this leadership principle called deliver results. You should read about that. I mean, it's so like, what's fascinating for me there is they have two leadership principles. One is called ownership and one is called deliver results. And they're different. And so understanding the nuance between the two is where I think the success of IC4 comes. And this is where my feedback to you as well is that focus on delivery. Ownership, I have no concerns. Right? If I have a variant question, I will come to you, you will have the answer. I'm concerned or concerned slash want you to do more is on deliver results. There's the variant is being driven like a technical project right now and not like a business project. And that mindset shift is the feedback that I think I have for you. Like, think of like your work, stay technical. When you're running the crew, get to the business. Right? So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think like for delivery, I think we for me, I think I shouldn't have problem like for, let's say, for laugh sharing or like, yeah.
This quarter we have 3 things to deliver.
Yeah.
Almost 4. So yeah, your crew is full for that opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's deliver it.
Yeah. I think you shouldn't have problem to for delivery. Of course, for I'm asking is for like in Snowflake, right? We kind of like work so hard. I think I feel I deserve, like a promotion or something.
No, but that's the point, right? I mean, if you were in Microsoft, you would be a principal.
Right.
But we hire principals from Microsoft as IC4.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I got the offer from like I worked for Microsoft, right? And then later I got the offer for principal from Microsoft, but I didn't go at that time.
Money is not enough, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know if you know this or not. My wife is a 67 in Microsoft.
Okay.